Hello, Popcorn Junkies. Welcome to this trailer reaction for a new movie called American Fiction. This is a film that stars someone who really, I just love him. I'm so fond of him. I just want to give him a great big cuddle. I just want to hold him close and buff that head. And no, seriously, I do. He's just lovely. Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright is a fantastic actor. I remember first coming across him all those years ago when he played Basquiat, the sort of young pop artist slash graffiti artist in New York. That was the first time I came across Jeffrey Wright. He probably kind of is most recognizable to most people as one of the key characters in Westworld. He's also in the Hunger Games films, the Mockingjay films, and Catching Fire. He was also in a brilliant film in 2018 that me and Maddie saw at the Tribeca Film Festival called OG, as in Original Gangster, in which he performed as an inmate in a prison where he actually acted alongside real inmates. I thought, for me, it's been one of the best performances he's given. For some reason, the film didn't really cut through or grab as big an audience as I was hoping it would. He's sensational in Asteroid City, delivering those sort of deadpan lines and monologues that Wes Anderson would write for him. He's very good at comedy. There is a danger sometimes that he can be a bit, not stiff, but sort of a bit one note, a bit the same sort of thing. Can sometimes sort of fall into that sort of husky, sort of growly, kind of loud, whispery kind of voice. But I like him. I really like him. I'm really fond of him. And this film, American Fiction, has really caused quite a stir on the festival circuit. I think it won the People's Choice Award, that's right, at the Toronto International Film Festival. It's a satirical comedy. As I say, it stars Jeffrey Wright. It also stars Tracee Ellis Ross in there, Issa Rae, and Sterling K. Brown, who I absolutely love. He played the dad in a movie recently called Waves. He was also, I think, in the trial of O.J. Simpson. He's been nominated. I think he's won Primetime Emmys. He's a big deal. Sterling Kelby Brown. And what's the idea? The idea is, I think Jeffrey Wright plays a reasonably good but not particularly exciting writer, and his agent suggests to him, why don't you double down on what it means to be black? Why don't you write the ultimate book from the black perspective? And I think this then becomes a sort of exploration, from what I'm sensing, about the kind of stereotypes, the tropes, the pitfalls that even someone from the black community can fall into when they have to characterize their own community in a certain way. So I think there's going to be a lot of humour in here. I think it's going to take a sort of irreverent approach to things like Black Lives Matter. As I say, I'm sort of still waiting for Jeffrey Wright to kind of have his breakout hit. And the director's a first-time director, although the director, who is Cord Jefferson, has been involved in shows like Succession, Watchmen, Master of None, and The Good Place. So although it's their first film to direct, they've been involved in quite a few kind of really successful series.
How did you come to write this book?
What really struck me was that too few books were about my people. Where are our stories? Where's our representation?
Would you give us the pleasure of reading an excerpt?
Yo, Sharonda, girl, you be pregnant again? If I is, Ray Ray's gonna be a real father this time around. Thank you.
Your books are good, but they're not popular. Editors, they want a black book.
They have a black book. I'm black, and it's my book.
You know what I mean.
Look at what they publish. Look at what they expect us to write. I just want to rub their noses in it.
I'd be standing outside in the night.
Deadbeat dads, rappers, crack. You said you wanted black stuff. That's black, right?
I see what you're doing. We sold your book.
No.
We believe Mr. Lee has written a bestseller.
It's a joke. The most lucrative joke you've ever told.
Now, is Stagg a pseudonym?
Yeah.
Mr. Lee can't use his real name.
Is this based on your actual life?
Yeah, you think some bitch-ass college boy can come up with that shit?
No, I don't.
Can I ask what you were in for? Was it murder?
You said that, not me.
They ran 300,000 copies.
Your books change people's lives.
They're offering $4 million for the movie rights.
Yes! The dumber I behave, the richer I get.
This is
gone too far.
Stag-Arley is still on the run from authorities.
You haven't done anything. It's not like they can arrest you.
Wish I could go back to not selling books.
Is it bad to cater to people's tastes?
People want to love you, Monk. You should let them love all of you.
There's already so much buzz because of the movie deal.
Michael B. Jordan is circling.
We want to put him on the cover in one of those scarves, I guess you would call them, tied around his head.
A do-rag?
Do-rag, that's it. Do-rag and a tank top with the muscles showing.
Somebody call the fire department.
We're thinking we can get it out in time for Juneteenth.
That looks really good. The dumber I behave, the richer I get. And how refreshing to have something that essentially is completely lampooning and neutering and trying to puncture the whole idea of political correctness gone mad. And the way in which white privilege, middle class, the sort of publishing world, the mainstream media want only a certain narrative about certain parts of certain cultures. You know, so that idea of him, the dumber I behave, the richer I get. You know, the assumption, he wrote it as a joke. I love that. I love anything that's written as a joke and it's bought hook, line and sinker and reveals the embedded racism in all the places that would like to think they don't feel a jot of racism whatsoever. It's like we can only cope with the black experience if it's presented in a certain way. And I mean, that's the case for nearly all cultures, isn't it? But wow. And Jeffrey Wright, wow, he's got comedy bones. He really has got comedy bones. And this feels to me a more sort of naturalistic environment, though comedic, for him to do a little bit more of what he was doing in the Wes Anderson films, because he's a sensational comic actor. And again, American Fiction, I like that. Did you see it sort of pop it up this Juneteenth? No, we're not going to be that obvious this December. American Fiction, it's the fiction that even well-meaning white Americans write about what it means to be black in America. I think he's going to win an Oscar. That's my prediction.